What's up, sassy gamers, and welcome to Got Our Attention podcast. This is season 3, episode 13. I'm your host, Mike or Zycia, alongside Phoenix Nova, Demurn, and DayDrinker ACL.
She was doing her dance. She was doing her DayDrinker dance.
With my drink in my hand.
DayDrinker for her dance. If you haven't seen her dance GIF, you can check out our Discord. I've got a little GIF of it there. It's very fancy. It's like pumped. I put pumped. I put dancing, DayDrinker, ATL, all that stuff. So it's pretty fun. I like it. So
it's published. Awesome. It's published, so you can pull it up on
Tenor.
When you go to GIFs. Good. Okay. Cool.
On Tenor, yeah.
On Tenor, yeah.
So, big week last week for video games.
Last night.
Had
big week last
night. Yeah, I'll tell you about it. No, that's for a different podcast.
Like
big week last week for the video game awards. So we had a lot of same games winning multiple categories, but hey, it's what happens when you have a good game. But yeah, it went on. Mainly, I think most of the world joined just to see if they could win a free Steam Deck. There's some news around that as well. As Valve said that every minute during the Video Game Awards, they were going to give away a free Steam Deck as long as you watched live and registered and watched live through Steam. But yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. I want to kind of get into the highlights of the Game Awards first, and then we can kind of cover some of the stuff that we saw live as we were watching it. So anyway, I want to say first off, what a great production. And I know this has always been a great production. It's just, to me, it was really,
Bob.
not always, but it's just really cool to me seeing in 2022, right? And this isn't something new, so Brian can correct me whatever date you want to put out there. But the point is seeing average people, like the norm, watching something about video games. Where on this very first award, they had Al Pacino come out to give the recognition for announce the winner, I guess, of the first category.
Oh my God, that was great too, because he sat there and legit was trying to read the teleprompter, called out that he couldn't read the teleprompter, and then later even said, "I don't even play video games, but I watch my grandkids play them."
Yeah, it was that to me is super cool. Being able to blend, those different avenues together. Because we always said movies and video games are kind of blending together anyway at this point, because games become movies become games, and circle of life. But it's really neat to see. It's not just a video game. I would expect to only see people in the video game industry at this event, when there was actually a lot of actors. There was a lot of TV show actors, a lot of movie actors. Other special appearances, we saw some streamers that were actually attending the event.
That was cooler. That was cooler, bringing out some. And actually, during the pre-show, and sometimes you saw her later. She's a streamer too.
The host that was talking
with the really cool
lady.
The flamingo dress
with the dress that looked like a Muppet.
Yeah,
God,
she looked like Animal. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was just really cool. First off, just to see the blend and the mesh together in that kind of instance. So, obviously, I'm for it. Please continue doing that. Jeff Keighley, obviously, does an amazing job of everything.
Sydney Goodman. So Sydney Goodman, who is on YouTube, on Twitch, plays games. She has a career also as being a presenter like that. So, I mean, that was nice having her on instead of hiring an actor or something like that to do presentations.
Agreed. Somebody actually in the industry, somebody who actually loves games.
Yeah. A lot of the stars and stuff like that, the Hollywood people have been there a lot during some of this. Just at one point, this was on Spike TV.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I do remember that. Yeah.
I remember Spike
cable
TV. I loved Spike TV.
And I know it's been this way in the past. This is nothing new, but I think I commented on this. I think when DayDrinker, did you join us that night? I think, yeah, you were there. Mm-hmm. I think I commented when you joined in, and because I think Mike was away from his seat, and I said, okay, this is absolutely like every other award show now, because it's a pre-show and 80% of the awards are either given off screen and they just mention it on the aside. Like Jeff Keighley even did like 5 in a row at one point.
Yeah, he's like, and the winner is this, blah blah blah, and the winner is this, blah blah blah, and the winner is this.
Yeah, no one comes up, and it's these rewards were handed out prior to the show.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I think Keighley did have to like maybe mash a whole bunch together that maybe even were supposed to go on stage. Don't know. With the
lengthy
best
Christopher Judge.
Yeah, he won. It was best performance in a game.
That was the first official award.
And he did an 8+ minute exceptions.
That was the longest thing in existence.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I appreciate his work.
Yeah.
And God of War was great. And he was great in both God of Wars. He's a fantastic voice actor, but oh my goodness, that
he took his moment.
Just
took his moment.
Hey, you know what? I don't hate the guy for it. If he wants to talk for 8 minutes,
I'm not hating.
Hey, they put the music on. They started cueing him, and he still talked. Like, he didn't care.
I mean, they didn't turn the music on quick.
Not quick. It was a minute. Yeah, it was at least 5 minutes into the speech, I think, when they first
it was more than 5 minutes because the music was only on for the last minute and a half or something.
Yeah.
It was like it was real late. Everybody was going, where is the music? Everybody's like, why isn't the music playing this guy off?
I feel like it was a little much. And like all the streams were all like, my guy, it's time. Like,
wrap it up.
You can stop thanking people, and then he'd be like, I'd also like to thank so and so. And I think he got himself into this weird rut where he kept thanking people individually, and I'm like, I feel like you could see it on his face where he's like, damn, now if I don't thank this next person, they'll feel left out.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, just say it like, and everybody else that helped this come together, thank you so much, goodbye. But nah, he was just like, and Andrew and Jacob and Emily and I'd like to thank my barber Jeff. He's a great guy. He really helped us bring this together, and
he did give Al Pacino a hug though too, which is
I'd also like to thank my pre-K teacher
seriously
for inspiring me to be the best that I could be. And I was like, oh my god, my guy. Ooh, I've never heard Kratos talk so much in one sitting.
It's true.
Right.
And not
going back,
did he say boy?
He did say oh boy at one point or something like that. Going back to what you're saying though, as far as being like a real event almost, is it was interesting to see that the commercials, I didn't even realize were commercials. I think it was halfway through the watch that we were watching the stream, and I was like, oh, like these are actually the commercials, like, because it was all game trailers, like, you know, either a game that's already released, just released, or like something coming. But I saw those and I was just like, oh, new trailers. I'm watching, but I wasn't taking a break. And then finally, I think Brian mentioned like, all right, on the next commercial break, I'm going to go do this. I'm like, what commercials? Oh, those are the commercials.
Trailers, yeah.
But I guess that works when you're a gamer. Like that's what you're into, and that's what's.
And I guess you'll sit around and wait for it. Yeah, it's like,
or something.
It's like watching the Super Bowl. Like those are the commercials you want to watch, right? So same thing. Yeah.
That and it was hard to tell the difference between them running trailers on the Game Awards and the commercials because
it was pretty seamless. Trailers. Yeah, and then the fact that it's not hosted on an actual like television network.
Yeah.
Like they were able to just play trailers. So there wasn't really any advertisements for
Coca-Cola.
Well, there was one advertisement. There was one that was ridiculous. The Grubhub, remember? Like so Grubhub had an ad.
Yes.
They were like the only person that actually had an ad that wasn't the only company that didn't have like a game or something. And it was basically like, and it was real odd because like Jeff was talking about it and he's like, yeah, right now, if you go to Grubhub and you order your food from Wendy's, you will get a free Grubhub skin for your PUBG car.
I clearly was tinkling.
And I'm like, wow, like, not only do I have to use Grubhub, I have to order from Wendy's so I can get a useless skin on PUBG Mobile.
I mean,
for a vehicle. I was like, that's a little much. That's a stretch. Like
Yeah.
they really their marketing team.
You say that
really
now.
shouldn't have done that.
Then it counts with that skin 3
Yeah,
years from now.
yeah,
You'll
yeah.
be selling for like 2,000 USD.
But here's
there
my
you go.
skin, and
Still won't care.
I love how they call it a skin.
yeah,
Vinyl wrap.
yeah.
But anyway, so some of the winners, obviously, God of War Ragnarok won pretty much all of the major categories, with a minor few, obviously, not all of them.
Major game.
And then obviously, and then Game of the Year went to Elden Ring, which
Yes.
and
best direction.
And best direction and best narrative, I thought too. It was very interesting to see that, you know, God of War basically swept the floor with everything else, and then the actual Game of the Year, you're like, oh, well, obviously God of War. It turned out to be Elden Ring. You're like, what? And I think the year before it was like a lot of like Elden Ring, and it was a God of War game that actually won. So
me and a lot of other people were shocked that Elden Ring didn't win the like best audio / soundtrack award, because like a lot of big streamers and even like some of the people I were talking to when I was watching it were like, do you remember a single song from God of War Ragnarok? And we couldn't, but we could remember pretty much every single piece of epic boss music in Elden Ring.
Wow.
Elden Ring soundtrack, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, I guess, was just substantially better than God of War's, and somehow God of War still won it, which proves that critics don't know jack.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because we did talk about this when we were watching it, is because Metal Hellsinger was actually up as one of the nominees for best soundtrack. And after I was looking, I was like, well, but it's kind of hard to say that, because you're talking about like an orchestra playing all these songs, whereas like Metal Hellsinger is like a bunch of bands. But then Phoennix mentioned, he was like, yeah, but all those bands created songs for the game.
Yeah.
It's not like they already had a song published. So legit, they actually did create music for the game. It's just a bunch of multiple artists rather than just like one set of group of people. So so I was interested to see. I didn't expect Metal Hellsinger to win, but I mean, it would have been cool just to see some metal up there. Maybe next year.
Cool.
Yeah, I think God of War did win the most. Also, interestingly enough, one of the awards that God of War won was Innovation in Accessibility.
Yeah.
It did have a stupid amount of accessibility options. Like pages worth of accessibility options. You can practically make that game play itself for you.
Love that.
I
like
know
that.
a certain young child who might want to do that.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be playing God of War, but maybe in a few years.
No, it's
one of the surprises, I think, was for best indie debut. We had I think among the nominees were
I got them. Best indie
Tunic,
debut game was Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors.
Yeah. So obviously, I was on the board with Vampire Survivor. Even Tunic I could see either of those really winning that category.
Even kind of Neon White, because
I mean, they were all good nominees.
Neon White is this new game developed by the guy who made Donut County.
Yeah.
And it's like this, like the whole game is like this speed runner card based shooter where you're doing repetitive loops.
Yeah, give me a real genre here.
Yeah, right. And it's like I could have seen any three of those over the actual winner of Stray. I don't think there's anything wrong with Stray, but
by the way, the winner was Stray.
Yeah.
So what killed me is there's best.
I never said it.
Best indie game and best best debut indie game, and Stray won both of them.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's true.
So disclaimer: I haven't played Stray yet. I have seen a lot of trailers for. I've seen some gameplay. It looks cool.
Yeah.
But I've also heard it's very railroady. Like, it kind of keeps you on the same path. You really can't do a whole lot. Like, even they were saying, like, even the cat actions, a lot of that stuff, like, is kind of already automatically done. Like, when you jump on different platforms, it kind of does the jumping for you. So it's not like a
platformer. It's not like an explorer where you can jump the cat anywhere. There are places where the cat can jump.
Yeah, it's not like a physics game, too. That's another one, like a parkour game.
It's just an adventure game. except you're in the body of a cat instead of a body of a human. And again,
Right.
I think it's an awesome game. It looks really cute. But best indie game, like DayDrinker was talking, had Cult of the Lamb, also Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and then also Tunic, which I could actually see even Cult of the Lamb getting that one because that game is pretty darn amazing.
Sifu was really great too. So I don't. I was surprised. First of all, there were two basically the same categories, and then it won fucking both. So
yeah.
I mean, like I said, great to them. I mean, they are an independent developer. They were backed by Annapurna, I think it is, the publishing studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Annapurna. Yeah. So I mean, it seems like it kind of had a lot more production value, more of less than like an indie game, more of like a more AAA game. But it really wasn't. It wasn't indie, just a developer. So I mean, if they win, they win. That's just how it goes. Maybe next year, But I will say it was really cool to see some of the nominees listed, like even Vampire Survivor, like one guy, with a kind of a underneath hit. What do you call it? Like a sleeper hit that didn't really realize that it would be so popular.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that the awards don't necessarily work how we think they do, because from my understanding, they have all these journalistic
panel,
100 plus panel, right? And
90% of the votes.
They count for 90%, yes. Mm-hmm. And they send out, they don't send out a list that says pick from these 5. They send out this like best indie game, best debut indie game. They fill in 5.
Okay.
So they might fill in something that we don't even see. And that all comes back, and then they tally up the votes for each of them that way, because it's more of kind of like a blind pick, which is kind of how we end up seeing these 2 different similar award categories with nearly the same list of games in it, because I mean, they probably were right next to each other in the questionnaire too, and the guy's like, I just said what the best indie game was. Here, let me write 5 more in this one. Maybe I'll write something different. I don't know. So I think it's how the process occurs kind of leads to some of the stuff. And I don't know of a better process either, because if you just sent the same 5 to everybody, then okay, well, who picked those 5 to begin with? And, then it opens up other questions.
Yeah. It is what it is. I think the fact that some of those nominees were actually there is pretty impressive for those companies, those indie devs that literally, had nothing, and this is where they're at, especially Vampire Survivor. That was just so cool. But anyway, so I wish I just threw something in the chat or in the OneNote for you, Brian, so you can show it. But I wish they had a category for like best, not necessarily host, but like best person that reads off the award, because they literally had Animal from the Muppets show up, and it was funny because when we talked, like he talked about earlier about the host that the MC that kind of led the pre-show, she came out with like this like stringy looking almost like carpet, like mesh carpet thing she was wearing, and my wife walked by and she goes, like, she's wearing this thing. She's like, God, she looks like Animal. And I was like, I know, right? That's hilarious. And then later on,
it had feathers, dude.
Yeah, feathers. It's feathers.
Oh, whatever.
It was totally
mesh
feathers.
Carpet.
Very Animal, like shag carpet is what
you're talking
anyway,
about Cindy
and
Goodman.
And then they had Animal come out
you're thinking shag carpet, not mesh carpet.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
I said
he
shag
corrected
carpet.
himself. Yeah,
that's fine. But either way, so Jeff's talking to Animal, and Animal, I mean, it's Animal, and like
it's the same feathers.
It was so amazing just to see Animal obviously playing his character, his own self, but like obviously it's a puppet, right? So like we have the people there, they have people talking, and then the jokes and the puns, and everything was to the T, like for that character to be presenting an award, And I just thought it was really cool. I just thought, seeing him and the jokes, and like he said, what game would you want? He's like, Animal Crossing. And we're like, I think that's already a game. But he's just like, Animal. Like, oh man, it was so good. Loved it. Anyway, there was a lot other awards as well.
Well, and the awards were only about half of it. I mean, the other half really was also trailers of stuff that is coming up. Some of them actually like only a week away that were kind of stealth drops of like, free to play games that I hadn't heard of. DayDrinker, do you got a favorite? What was your favorite trailer? World premiere, which they didn't do the voice. They just did sound effects. And they never once said world premiere.
Yeah.
Well, then you can do it. Redub it, put it back on YouTube.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It all seemed like a lot of
we fixed the Game Awards.
Yeah. What was the Silent Hill, not Silent Hill, the prequel with the baby and
Bayonetta.
I'm sorry.
The Bayonetta prequel.
Yeah. Like that was pretty cool. And the graphics looked really freaking phenomenal. I mean, it looked like a movie. So that was cool. But there was kind of a lot. Just like a lot.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said, that it was kind of like
there wasn't a very diverse. Going. Yeah, it wasn't like, like you didn't get like a Splatoon which I get, they're already games, but like I'm like, it wasn't like cartoony and then puzzly and then narrative game and another sequel to something big. It was just like all the same shit. So it was a little like yeah.
And that's just every year. It's like just like movies. There's always the same style movies that come out at the same time. Like that's just seems like it's in the water.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess for me,
they got the new Brawler, the Crash Bandicoot Brawler, that looks terrible.
That looks terrible.
I swear,
and they had him come out and like,
I swear to God, he was doing the SNL skit of like, "What up? What's up, fellow teens?"
Yeah, he was. It felt like watching one of the old like E3 videos of when like he came out or something. Like it was bad. For me though, I think the two, and these aren't even necessarily games that I would be interested in necessarily. Like I'm not like, oh my God, I can't believe that showed that. But I guess I'm interested more in the first one. The first one was the Jedi. Was it Jedi?
Jedi Survivor.
Soul Survivor.
Jedi Survivor.
Soul Survivor.
They showed new footage.
Soul Survivor,
they showed new footage for that, and that looked really good. They actually had the actor that basically is the character you play. He showed up. It was funny because he was doing all the moves with a lightsaber, and I'm like, well, obviously he knows how to do that because of all the tracking they had to do. So that was cool. But the other one was it's something that everybody knew was coming, but they said it wasn't. They said it wasn't. They said it wasn't. But then it showed up, and everybody lost their mind. Which is Death Stranding 2 was announced. So they said Hideo Kojima was going to be in the studio or that day, and then he shows up, and then he announces his new game.
And then he was on stage.
So that was cool. Actually, the last one though, which, and I thought I forgot about the third one until just now, but it starts off. It says it's the 90s. It basically looks like someplace in Florida, very like neon lights. And I'm like, and I've seen rumors on the internet that Grand Theft Auto 6 was going to be announced. And I was like, here it is. Because they talked about like this would be in Vice City is what they were going to do. And this game starts off and it has all these big name actors. There's Michael Rooker. There's Chuck Norris. The list goes like crazy of all these famous actors that are actually
Vanilla Ice
in the game. Vanilla Ice. I mean, it's crazy. And it's set in the same time frame. And it's basically first person
it looks like
shooter.
Vice City.
Mm-hmm.
It legit looks like Vice City. And I was like, oh my God. Because they announced the game early. They said, here's the intro trailer for this game called Crime Boss coming out. And I was like, cool. And then I started watching. It's like, oh, wait, they just punked us. This is totally GTA 6. This is GTA 6. And I'm like, wow, this looks good. And then they show the credits. And I'm like,
Danny Glover.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Danny Glover. I'm like, this is actually a new game. This is a complete different
this
studio.
Is totally
this is not
fucking different.
Epic is publishing this. It's a small independent developer out of, I think, somewhere in the Europe somewhere. I can't remember exactly, but and they're working on this. This is their game. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. Like for them to have this many big names and like, I mean, to the T, I swore it was GTA 6. Yeah. I was thoroughly impressed, but hopefully they didn't spend all their money on getting the actors and the
Right.
game sucks, but we'll see how it goes.
Well,
it's still a far way away. So.
no, it's March 23rd.
That's far away.
It'll be
It's
far
not.
at all.
It's not. No.
It'll get pushed back. It'll be like September. That's not releasing.
Literally PAX East.
Mm-hmm.
It's not releasing. It's going to be like end of the year.
Yeah.
If they're smart. Unless they've been really working on this for like a long time.
They had to. If they've got that many people, they're not having them do their voice acting now. That stuff.
That's true.
Done.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah, it's all done. That's all done.
They've had to have been working on this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool for that. Other than that, I mean, everything else is just par for the course. So just
Demirin?
Some of the same games, whatever.
Armored Core 6 is a big one for me.
Brian.
What are you
Who's
talking about?
gatekeeping now?
I didn't have this one ready at all.
I got it.
So tell me about this game, because I feel like I don't remember this game much.
It's not a Souls game.
It's not. It's made by the same studio, but it's not a Souls game. Yes,
it's not a Souls game.
Yes, not a Souls game. So it's a mech game.
Yeah,
and
it's Gundams essentially.
And it's a fast-paced mech game. It's not like Mech Warrior plodding along. It's a fast-paced jets flying around. Like this is.
It's not like.
I think my backups cause me problems.
It's not American mechs. It's Japanese mechs. So everything's very fast.
So
they fly around.
The thing.
They shoot. They have laser swords.
This is Armored Core 5 right now that I'm showing.
There was a game on PS2 that had basically like Gundam mechs that flew around and you fought each other. Do you remember that game?
There was many.
I cannot think of the name, but it was like a fighter, but you were like in mechs.
I'd not be surprised if he's talking about Armored Core 3.
And I'm wondering, maybe that is the same game. Maybe I did play this at some point, but God, I can't remember the name of that game for anything.
So look at that.
Probably Armored Core 3.
That looks badass.
Or 2.
I'll have to look.
We're talking about PC,
but anyway, that's
PC or console.
No, it was on PlayStation 2, PS2.
Yeah, that probably was Armored Core.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's dashing around in a desert. Big mounted cannons, cities,
punching,
firing rockets all over the place.
This looks like a Demirin
That
game.
wasn't it. No.
Oh, it's a blast. But this is of course footage.
No, it was 6. Zone of the Enders. Zone of the Enders is what I played. Did you ever play that?
I never played Zone of the Enders. No.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's the one I played. So that's my most experience with mechs that I have.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Same difference.
Those are some stylized mechs too. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Armored Core 6 is a big one, and also Blue Protocol, which is an upcoming MMORPG that's very anime-esque.
I remember seeing this. I'm gonna have to look it up so I can remember what it looks like.
Let me put
this.
This way.
Oh no, I do remember seeing this one. Yeah. That one looked really pretty.
I was able to find it just by its thumbnail because I knew the thumbnail was this one because it was so stylized.
Yeah, that's right. I remember seeing this. Yeah.
That's it. That's what I'm most stoked for, I suppose. Star Wars is also up there. A couple other ones we mentioned, but yeah. Whenever Armored Core 6 drops, that's an instant buy. Don't care. If they burn me, it's fine. I'll be burned.
If they lose all my shit, I'm okay.
Yeah.
We'll just get a new mech.
So, I mean, that's pretty much the highlights of
one of the ones that I saw that wasn't
Brian, sell it.
It wasn't something that I was expecting to see at all. I was looking at it and I was like, I watched other people watch this too, and they caught on faster than I did because they knew the music and everything. But I was looking at it and I was like, what the heck is this? Oh, that's cool. You can see the bones through arms, blah, blah, blah. And then it started showing the gameplay and I was like, oh my God, this is Hades 2.
Oh yeah, that was one of the first ones too, right?
Yeah, I must have missed this one actually.
Yeah, this was one of the.
Yeah, that's true. That was cool.
And I was like, that's crazy. I mean, this is pretty much a studio that doesn't make sequels.
Yeah.
And they're making Hades too.
When that printer prints money, you make sequels.
I mean, hey, like plenty of their other stuff printed money too.
On that same note, Remnant 2 was also announced, which looks pretty wild. And that's from a studio that just generally doesn't even make good games. Because Perfect World sucks. They make the most pay-to-win garbage cash grab games in existence. And like, Remnant was amazing. And then they've announced a Remnant 2, so fingers crossed.
See, as soon as it started doing that stuff, that gameplay right there, I was like, and she said, "Oh, you got to kill Kronos." I was like, "Oh, you got to kill time." You know, the Titan.
Yes.
And I was like, "Oh my God, this is Hades 2." And I was like telling it to DayDrinker at the time, and I was like, "What the hell?" Yep, it was. So yeah, it was a pretty good award show.
So the last award went to Game of the Year, which I've already said Elden Ring won. Unfortunately, it kind of got sidebarred, I guess. Some random kid apparently has been in the news before because he's always trying to grab attention, but basically kind of snuck up on stage with them as they were walking up. He kind of like blended into the background and kind of just walked up with them. And I remember seeing him in the background while they were presenting the award and talking different things. And as soon as he gets finished talking, he kind of like pushes up to the front and like, you know, and I swear it was more of like a Kanye moment of ever. Like I hear your story, but let me finish. Yeah. And he like went on this spiel of like some, it was stupid. Anyway,
he said, "I'd like to dedicate this award to my recently Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton." So
it was more than that, but yeah,
it was something. That was pretty much all it was. Like
there was a little bit more.
There really wasn't that much more than that. I literally just listened to it like 5 minutes ago. So
either way,
this award goes to the Reformed Rabbi Bill Clinton.
I didn't see that one. Oh.
Yeah, I mean there was it really sucked to me because like, you know, I can't pronounce his name, but the guy who was obviously from Elden Ring that was talking about his game,
Miyazaki.
Him.
Oh shit.
It just sucked that like basically his spotlight was kind of taken from this kid being super disrespectful, and this isn't the first time he's done it. He's done it like at the Clippers games. He's done it at BlizzCon. You know, and it's interesting. Like he's been on InfoWars and stuff, and it's really strange that like he's like kind of like pro good stuff. Like the protesting in Hong Kong and stuff. Like he's
against the censorship in China, free Hong Kong. He's against like the Asian hate that's been happening recently. According to the occasional time that he posts on Twitter. And it's not that often.
But this was just fucking weird.
It was weird.
It's like it was like word salad coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the other thing about it too is this is just gonna be a headache for Jeff Keighley as well.
Because
you've got a room full of people, and this kid walks up there in this frumpy ass jacket. Like, I mean, I'm sure he looked hip. Yeah. No, I'm like, I mean, looked at what everybody was wearing there. Like there was I mean, not everybody on stage right now, but like everybody in the audience was wearing different stuff. Yeah.
And he was trendy
but it was also a very oversized jacket. I mean, you literally could have put a ton of shit under that jacket. And this becomes a huge security issue when you have all these people in the audience.
This kid
because that jacket, look at how much bigger that jacket is on him compared to the people with the.
I love this scene right here, though, as you can see all the security just like coming in. But it's not even just the jacket, though. It's more of the security of the event period. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Well, not even how did he get in? Like, how did he approach the stage? Like, why don't they have people checking?
Yeah.
You know, every step of the way, like that should all been checked. Yeah. So, and Jeff was not happy. Like you could, when they cut to him afterwards, like he was pissed, and rightfully so. I mean, this guy just.
I mean,
made
I assume that he did go through security and he got in because he had a ticket and he was cleared. It didn't have anything on him. He was just somebody in the crowd who was somebody's +1. Yeah. And I mean, getting on the stage isn't that hard, right? Like, especially when a whole team goes up. You know, the security team doesn't know who's supposed to be there and who's not. Yeah. So he just has to look
blend
the part.
In, yeah.
And he just merged in. I mean, everybody was wearing different stuff.
What kills me is like the Miyazaki's team was like, yeah, he can stay. Like, what's this kid doing here? Like,
I mean, they
didn't want to be rude
most of them didn't speak English except for the translator.
Yeah.
And the kid walks up. I mean, they don't know if he's like some stagehand that's getting the mic ready for someone else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they don't know what to think about it. It is also interesting too, that if you watch it, that many times when the camera is on them, he will reposition himself where he shows up in the shot.
Yep. So he knows he's in camera frame. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, he doesn't blend in too much with this group.
No, he doesn't.
Although he's shorter than him.
Yeah, and he's like in the background, and obviously.
See, look, he just repositioned himself to get his head in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it was really kind of weird behavior.
Yeah. I mean, either way, disrespectful. It
absolutely.
Sucks that they have to lose their spotlight. For
Miyazaki probably doesn't care because he's like, I'll be back next year anyways to pick up another one of these awards.
But as I said, like, he Will Smithed it. Like, he really just walked up on stage. And that, to me, going forward on a lot of these shows and anything like this live, like, they really need to start paying more attention. Because, I mean, luckily, the kid probably did go through security getting inside. He didn't probably have anything on him. He wasn't trying to hurt them, as we saw. But I mean, look at Will Smith, who's a famous actor. So of course they're going to let him on stage, and he performs and does the slap against Chris Rock and everything. It's like, how does that stuff happen? Like, you don't know. Like, they need to be a little more tighter on security, or we're going to see something real bad happen, and it's going to be a whole ordeal. So
yeah, exactly.
Either way, cool video game awards 2022. Very cool. Definitely check it out now. Oh, I didn't mention the last important part, the whole Steam Deck episode.
Oh.
So every minute, if you watch Steam, if you got the stream to load, because there was a lot of issues with people actually loading the stream for Video Game Awards. It kept saying like not available, and finally get it pulled up. And what they were doing at the bottom of the screen is that every minute it would show like a little flash up, and it would say like, this person won a Steam Deck. This person won a Steam Deck. MILF Hunter won a Steam Deck, which is super famous on Reddit now. He is like the top of the Steam Deck community, and he is like, he even posted about it anyway. And then we saw another part where it switched to a bunch of numbers, and we were like,
what?
Did a bunch of bots just get this stuff? And it has been confirmed. So this is your first time hearing about what happened during this. It has been confirmed. Steam did announce that there was a glitch with their display or whatever, and it started presenting the Steam IDs for the accounts that were winning.
Oh.
They're 17 digits long, and if you look those up, you'll see the winners that actually did win that. So,
good.
So props to Steam for actually vetting out, being able to, like, you had to buy a game in the last year, you had to have an active account, couldn't have anything negative, you can only reply once, like, so to try to weed out all of the bots. Which they did a good job on, but they did have a glitch, and those things showed up because we also thought maybe it's like because they were getting spammed.
Yeah,
like, maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah, and maybe like, oh, now everybody knows my name, and is everybody hitting me up for my Steam Deck? And yeah.
But MILF Hunter actually took it pretty well. He actually had like a little, almost like an Ask Me Anything on Reddit. It was pretty awesome. But yeah. So yeah, Video Games Awards 2022, and we'll see what happens next year with any other awards we get.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, let's turn it creepy because Kelly wants to talk about creepy stuff. Kelly?
Hold on, let me pull up my notes.
So this is Kelly's creepy Christmas corner.
Kelly's creepy Christmas corner. Had some bells in there to make it super creepy.
I had to switch over to the more appropriate music.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I told Mike what I was going to do tonight, so It's not super shocking, but since this is our last podcast before Christmas, I thought I'd
not the last of the year,
not the last of the year,
before Christmas.
But before Christmas. You'll be hearing this before Christmas, but we won't be doing a podcast after Christmas. This is the last podcast before Christmas.
We'll do one, yeah. Last podcast before Christmas.
Yeah. I want to do it about Krampus. Everybody has kind of heard about Krampus, and I'm kind of itching for some creepiness. So I did hear something.
If there's any way you can bring that in, you would.
I know, yeah. I did hear something about Krampus that kind of triggered me. Okay.
Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I know Mike's going to hate this, but you might love this.
This is going to be a super dad joke. I can feel it.
No, you not at all. Kelly, I have heard the word Krampus a lot of times. I have no idea what Krampus is.
Are you being for real right now? You're totally.
I'm being for real. I told you would love this. He would hate this.
What? Okay. Well, let
I'm
me
serious. I
educate
don't know
you.
what Krampus is.
Well, hold on. I've got a story for you. All right. So Krampus, you have probably seen on like Christmas. Well, maybe not most people's Christmas cards, but Christmas cards, Christmas artifacts, Christmas paintings. It's the creepy horned dude who's usually got a sack of usually kids or birch on his back. Its origins though start well before Christmas was ever even a thing. So Krampus actually was the son of a Norse god named Hel. And in pagan stuff, he hung out in around the time of what we now consider Christmas. Because of Christianity, we all know history. The Catholics liked to take everything that was pagan and throw their Catholic spin on it. So that's why we have Halloween and then All Saints Day right after. So it kind of follows that stream. Krampus is celebrated. Krampus is a figure. We'll call him a figure. He is often seen with Santa. So
he's an elf.
No, he's not. He's like Santa's buddy. No joke, Santa's buddy. So either he's with Santa and they are together doing their shtick, or it's December 5th and it's just Krampus, and Krampus is running around like giving kids, taking bad kids, whipping bad kids with birch sacks, a bunch of birch. Hold on. I have it written down here. Bundles of birch.
Like a broom.
Yeah, small bundles of birch. Yeah.
It's
like
like
literally you're a bad kid, or taking those kids, throwing them in a sack, throwing them in a river, throwing them in a lake, throwing them somewhere, or taking them back to hell with him. Which is super effing creepy. If you do see them together, that's typically the creepy part of it. But it's supposed to be like a good versus evil thing, right?
Do you see this guy's tongue?
Oh yeah. So that's something that's pretty typical. Likes him. Yeah, yeah. The horn thing, though, he doesn't always have horns. So the regions who celebrate or celebrate Krampus, it's the Alpine region in Europe. So Austria, Germany, Slovenia, Hungary, Czech Republic. That's where you see what they call the Krampus Laufs, which is a Krampus run. On December 5th, that is Krampus Nacht, the night of Krampus. So he comes around, he does the spanking and all that crap. Modern day Krampus Krampus Laus. The Krampus run, dudes dress up like Krampus and just act a fool. And literally in these regions hurt people. And everybody's like, ha, it's so funny. But they've literally got like welts. Typically, they leave the, painful parts to the shins, knees and below. But no joke, people are like, that was actually way more serious than I expected.
So they go full purge.
Full purge. And everybody's like, this is so funny. And people who are from out of town are like, what the fuck is actually going on?
Bruno, it sounds like you need to take a reporting visit to one of those areas.
Yeah. So Krampus does his thing with the birch bundles. The next day, December 6th, is St. Nicholas Day. And St. Nicholas leaves coins in the shoes of the good boys and girls who are the ones left, basically.
Krampus, gotta give him something.
Yeah.
So you say he's a traditional folklore fairy tale to scare kids straight.
Basically, yeah. So it gets better. Krampus takes on lots of different, visual or appearances. So each region's just a little bit different, but there's still Krampus. So sometimes he's got horns, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he's really big and furry. Sometimes he's just furry and scrawny. Sometimes he has all hooves. Sometimes he has one hooved leg and one human leg, which is more creepy to me than anything else. The thing that really...
That's what's creepy to you.
Yeah, I know. The thing that caused me to want to do this was, we've all heard of Elf on the Shelf, right? I've got an Elf on the Shelf. I need to move Snowflake before my kids wake up tonight. Apparently, Krampus would come around and give gold-painted bundles of birch, small gold-painted bundles of birch to families. And the families would put these golden bundles of birch up like somewhere in their home year-round, like a decoration. Like, you better be good for goodness sake, because Krampus is coming to town. And it was just the reminder of, just like I say, Snowflake is watching and stuff like that. So I thought it was kind of funny that we all have our thing and have been keeping it around for a little while. So Elf on the Shelf isn't a new thing. I think I'm going to make my painted bundle of birch and see how that goes.
Compared to Krampus, Elf on the Shelf is a very new thing.
Very, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
And on that note, give us a few minutes and we'll be right back after this break. And we're back.
Are we?
I should trademark that. I don't know. I can't probably trademark that. Either way.
Because you're not selling anything with that. It would be copyrighted that you want to do, not trademark.
Yeah, whatever. So before we get into the mini games that we've been playing, or at least I have, Brian, just take it away.
This wasn't the order we agreed upon.
This is the order. I see the order right now.
There's a topic.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that is
there's a topic.
Chalk that up as the worst segue of the year.
I said there's a lot of games we've been playing, but before we get there, Brian.
Save that for the last or first podcast of the year.
Do we need to restart this?
No, I mean,
we're good.
It's just easier for you to say, hey, guess what? Dwarf Fortress got released on Steam, which is really weird because it's a 25-year-old game that is available for free that just got released on Steam for $30.
Yep.
And part of that is because Dwarf Fortress, when it was first created and up until recently, is a game that used all text, and that is all text that you see. It's just there's special text characters that can create the angles and lines and stuff like that.
Like ASCII or whatever.
Yeah,
ASCII art.
ASCII text. And now it actually, that's the same thing, but now it's all graphicalized. It's the same game.
Graphicalized.
It is the same game.
It's got a graphics makeover, and available for $30, which is really cool. And I know the $30 will come into more play in a second too, but I did find it interesting. Two things. First of all, for those that don't know Dwarf Fortress, it is a dwarf life simulator. You simulate a dwarf community, what they do, what they build, and you only have so much control, and there's an incredible amount of depth, including what's motivating these people, what's wrong with them individually, and you can literally like look into like very minute details about their mood and everything to the point where you can start creating your own narrative. Here's one of the most recent reviews. I spent hours generating the perfect world, selected my embark location with perfect features, a river, a waterfall, metals and clay, and thick forests. I prepared my journey carefully, choosing essential skills for each of my 7 dwarves. Each would be needed to ensure the optimal start. All required items, livestock, were picked with purpose. At spawn-in, next to a river, stockpiles, dig sites, tree chopping, and herb gathering were all designated even before unpausing the game, planned out for a perfect first-year start. Holding my breath, I gently tapped the spacebar. The game unpauses. An alligator immediately attacks one of my dwarves, maiming and drowning her while the other dwarves react to dispatch the alligator. The blood and gore causes everyone to vomit, and the remaining 6 dwarves are traumatized, become depressed, and begin attacking each other. The woodcutter kills everyone before succumbing to his own wounds and bleeding out. The settlement is wiped out before it even begins. Welcome to Dwarf Fortress. 10 out of 10 review. Perfect 10 out of 10 review.
I love that.
They're not wrong.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
But before we get into that, no, the reason why you said the $30 price, because a lot of people were...
That was the... Hold on. We're getting to that. Just before we get there, I'm talking about the reviews and stuff.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily the reviews. Someone started a discussion about the reviews, going, oh my God, there's so many 10 out of 10 reviews. There's 1,700 of them. Now there's 1,900 of them. And he started this forum topic and said, literally, have all these people been playing free DF for 25 years and we're just waiting for an opportunity to pay $30? To which people jumped in and said, yes. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yes. Literally in the time since posting the threshold, it went from 1,900 to 1,200. I mean, yeah, kind of. Absolutely. To the tune of 3,675 replies to this guy saying, yes, we've been waiting 25 years to pay these guys $30. See, that's your segue.
I don't see any motorized vehicle here. So the purpose of that is, and a lot of people were like obviously speculating, like, why, if this game was free for so long, why would they charge $30 for it on Steam? Yeah, there's a graphical overhaul, but why? Right.
Well, they always accepted donations.
Yeah. And the game is still, to be clear, this game is still free. It's still available free from, I think, their website or some other avenues. It's not hidden. Like, it is available free if you want to play for free. It is the older version, which is not the graphical overhaul. So it's basically all ASCII. It's still the same game. I think up until yesterday, where they did release a new update for the Steam version, and it has not hit the previous version yet. So there's that. But there's actually an article, PC Gamer actually came out and did like a little article on it. And basically the too long didn't read of this is they've been making this game for 25 years. And obviously this is their heart and soul. This is everything they've put into it. So when you think about a game of how much depth it can have, they've literally been writing the narrative for 25 years.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say that you can beat that, right? Like, as far as like a well-defined game. And a lot of people are like, because we've played one too. We played the MMO that had been in release for how long? Like, we tried it and we're like, this is wild, but we tried it.
Yeah.
So I've been watching. I've read a lot about the game before, like stories like the review had and different things like that. And I've seen some footage and I was like, I don't know. It's not my thing. Once they announced the graphical overhaul, I was like, okay, maybe something I'll be interested in. But the reasoning why they decided to put the price out there was that one of the developers actually developed a cancer, some sort of cancer that accrued a lot of obviously medical bills. And his idea was, well, we can at least charge $30 for it once we do the rehaul, and we'll have some fans that obviously want to participate and help us out, and they know our story, and we'll just see what happens. I mean, it's still available free, whatever. Now that they're millionaires, they've kind of went back and talked about it. And one of the quotes, and I don't quote me on this exactly, but it's paraphrasing, was essentially, yeah, it's like $20 million. But if you think about it over the course of 25 years, that's kind of like a normal salary for someone in like development or something. He's like, obviously on the high end.
Yeah.
But still, able
when
to
you make
pay
a
off
game
their
that
bills
everybody
and,
loves,
yeah. So that's basically our segue now into the games we've been playing. Well, games.
And that's only 40,000 a year.
Yeah. So not
for
fantastic.
$1 million.
If lump sum.
For every $1 million, it was $40,000 a year.
Yeah. So the game I want to talk about is Dwarf Fortress. So I did buy this game at $30. Never played the initial game. I am very much into city builders, city planners, city management games, or management games, period. I've kind of went deeper into that hole as time has been going on, because I used to not necessarily get into the nitty gritty of these kind of games. And then recently I've kind of just fell in love with them.
Much so that I literally added you when this game came out in Discord.
Yeah, you did. And it was already on my radar. I already was ready.
So note, by the way, they're at $9 million in sales.
Nice.
Whoa. Good God. So yeah, basically I decided to buy it and to check it out because from everything I've read, it's one of the most like complex and like just so much stuff to do.
Unforgiving.
And I will say it is exactly everything those reviews have said within the probably I can pull it up right now. Actually, I can tell you exactly how many hours I've played so far. I've played so far 2.5 hours. And it's exactly everything they've said. I haven't ran into any Doom yet, but I will say the first playthrough, I had no idea what I was doing, and even reading the tutorial that they gave me, I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
like I clicked on things for them to build, and they were like basically giving me the middle finger. They were hungry, and I'm like, okay, guys, well, you're hungry. I get that. Go eat. There's no way to just tell them to go eat. Well, first off, I didn't have any food for them to eat. So I had to like basically break it down, start it over, and like watch a bunch of YouTube videos and like what's going on. And but yeah, it's a really great game. It is super complex. Like when you start the game, typically you start a game, you say new game, you pick your difficulty, you may be able to select a couple attributes of things you may want, and that's basically it. You start the game and you play the game. This one starts off with like what year do you want to start this game in? And not like 2023. I mean, like, how many years of history do you want the game to auto-generate randomly for your playthrough? So I selected 100, which is like the base. Like it says 100 years. So the game starts, you click start, and it starts telling you all the history. Day 1, day 2, all the way through 99. And it's literally like this civilization has come across this person found this thing, these people died, this major drought came through, wiped out all this community. This other community decided to join, and these two people fought. Blah blah blah. It goes through this massive like just history of like things that are going on, and then you start the game. And you pick on the map where you want to start your civilization, your fortress, and it's basically you drop down, you have a wagon, a bunch of supplies, a bunch of animals, and a bunch of people, and start digging, diggy dwarf, and that's basically it.
And so it bears saying that the design of this game is everything is straight top down. You're looking straight down at the ground, and you can like, and you move the Z-axis, the up and down, to look at different layers. So as you move up, you'll move like up a tree to like the tops of trees. You move down, you go down into the ground, deeper in the ground. So it's fully 3-dimensional, but you're just seeing one 2-dimensional slice at a time.
Yeah, one layer at a time.
Interesting.
So the game is definitely unforgiving. I've already talked to a few friends that have played the game since before I bought it, like since it was released, and they were like, "Yeah, it's super unforgiving." The game is not. I think one of our, I think Whittles in our chat on Discord literally said, "This game is like different than most city builders because typically you're trying to prosper. This game is not designed for you to prosper. It's designed for you to fail, and it's a matter of how fast you fail."
Yeah. Whittles also.
So my first playthrough,
he tweeted, "My dwarves have survived their first winter."
And it's a big deal. So like I literally started that first playthrough and didn't know what I was doing, and I kept seeing these purple clouds everywhere, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" And it's basically they got like a disease, and it was spreading throughout the whole thing. So everybody had it, and then they're basically gonna die. So I'm like, okay, well that sucks. But yeah, I don't know. I could talk about this game probably a while, but it's very in depth in the sense of like you can click on the carpenter workshop, for example, to build a chair, and you click that chair, build a chair, build chair, build chair. And as long as you have the material, your person will go over there and build a chair. But that kind of gets kind of like tedious, right? Like you're like, I need 15 chairs. I'm going to click on this thing, click this menu, click the button, click this, and then build a chair. Do it again. Click the button, click the menu. And so what you can do is actually hire, there's different roles within your society, and you can assign someone to be a manager. And literally once you do that, then you have an option of work orders, work items. And basically you go there and you can assign work items or work assignments to whatever thing because you have a manager. So the manager basically, you'll literally see him, little dwarf, walk over to the person and be like, blah, and then that person goes over the carpenter thing and starts like building stuff. And so it's just really neat like that. There's a lot of like you can assign other roles that aren't even established essentially when you first start. Like there's all these like top 7 whatever, like you mine, you pick food, whatever, and then there's like all these custom ones you can do. Like you can actually literally create your own custom jobs for these people. So there's so much to this game. I'm like, I have to take it in segments. Like I'm literally playing it for like maybe an hour and then I stop because I'm like, my mind is so broken by the time I finish that hour. I'm like, I need to rest because like I'm trying to take in, and I keep telling myself that I can't stop the game. I have to like not stop playing it. I have to remember this game has been in development for like 25 years.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy, but everyone who says who's played it, it's been very awesome. So I'm like, I have to continue it. And it's super dense. Yeah. So maybe I'll have some crazy stories to tell you guys in the future, but that's been my experience so far. It's like I said, 2.5 hours in, it's been a blast, but very painful, a painful blast at this. So it is what it is, but yeah, it's been great. So awesome. Anything else from you, Brian, on Dwarf Fortress before we move on? Cool. So literally before we started this recording today, about an hour before, I just put my son to sleep. I'm like, I got an hour before I need to really jump online and get ready with you guys. And I'm like, I'm just going to pull up Steam real quick, see what I want to play. And I went to the loading page, which is like the store, and game at the very top of the thing. It's like the banner. It's like taking over the whole screen. It's not like the normal, like, check these out. It's like the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And it's basically a game called Potion Craft Alchemy Simulator. And it's on sale now because I think it just got released. So I picked it up for like 20% off, and I was like, let me check this out. And it is very similar to another type of resource game. But this one's, it's pretty for one. It's like stylized, like almost like a book or something, as you're doing stuff. But the idea is you find a little cabin in the woods, at least it'll belong to a wizard. You create potions. That's basically it. So people come by and they're like, hey, I want a potion. I feel it actually reminds me a lot of when I took my like clinical psychology test in college. Very much a lot of like that. It was like, hey, this person feels like this. Over the past week, they've felt X. When they do X, Y happens, but it doesn't correlate with Z. So how do you explain this to, what do you think the best medicine for this would be or whatever? And that's really kind of does. It kind of gives you a little bit more than that, little more straightforward of like, I feel pain. And you're like, okay, cool. I need something to like heal pain. But so all you do is you literally go to your garden, your backyard, you pull all the things you have, all these different roots and herbs and all these different things. And you have a cauldron, you have a little mortal and pestle, and that's basically it. You throw your ingredients. You can throw them directly into your cauldron, or you can use the pestle and the mortal pestle and actually like grind them up to their fine, and then put them into the cauldron, which you can use less of the items.
I wouldn't call this basically it. That's where you start, but
yeah, there's a lot.
It gets.
Oh, that is some. Yeah, that
we're not going to get there.
Are we going to make some moonshine?
It gets.
I mean, that's basically. Yeah, it gets. It starts off very well. But the idea is you make potions. You have stuff in your backyard. You also have merchants that come by.
That moonshine.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you start.
Oh.
But you have people coming by looking for things, and you can sell them the potions. So let's say it's like, hey, I need a healing potion. So you're like, all right, I have one. I brewed one. I figured out how to do that, because it's like it's all trial and error. You mix things together. There's kind of like a mini game of like how you can discover new potions. But basically once you have one that you can save it, and then you can just like auto generate those potions. So they come over, they ask you for this thing, and then they bring up the option to either sell it to them at this price. You can haggle with them, or you can just decline it. And haggling starts off very easy. It's like a slider, and you can pick the things, and you can haggle a little bit more coins for it. As the difficulty gets higher on the haggling, it goes faster, so it's harder to determine like when to click the button.
That's funny.
But ultimately, like, you'll get other people come by and say, hey, I'm a merchant, I'm selling things, and you can buy other roots and things from them that you may not have. So then you can use those to like kind of, and I guess kind of go back to the mini play. So the mini game is basically there's a map. You use certain items. Each item has a path of how it is generated. So let's say I put, item A into the grinder, and I've grinded up, put it in the cauldron. That's going to take me down a south path on this map. The idea is you have to land on a spot that is a potion. So you have to kind of go down, and then I see to the right, there's a potion over there. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what the potion that is, but I want to make it. So I put something else in that moves me right. And then I move over there until I get there. Yeah, sort of. And then I create the puzzle or create the potion, and then I get whatever the hell it is like that I decided to make. And then once I have it, then I can save it, and then I'll know in the future.
I would like to point out the crazy coincidence that the guy that is live streaming on Steam right now was doing what you were talking about right when you were talking about it. This is not a canned video. This is the live stream of the guy on Steam.
Yeah, it's funny. So yeah, you kind of like decide, and the thing is, like, you put stuff in, like the X will show you as you stir it how far you're going to go, but you don't have to. You can like stop it right on. Like right now, if this guy does that, he can drop it in, only stir to get exactly. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Oh my god!
To try to match it up exactly, because the closer you are to that, the more defined that potion is. So right now he just hit a level 3, so that potion is going to be obviously really strong, and then he can sell that for a higher dollar value once he gets to that point. Yeah. So really cool. It was like $11 right now. I think it's on, like I said, sale for 20% off. So not very expensive, under $20, but obviously a lot of depth to this game. I'm curious to see how it's going to be like in a week from now when I keep playing it. And I'm like, oh my god, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, because it looks
but
like
yeah, it's very chill,
complex with like distillers and all kinds of flasks and
but one thing to note about this. Go ahead.
I'm super glad that you got interested in this, considering I tried to get you interested in this in several times when we saw this at PAX East last year.
No. So the one thing to note is this game is a chill game. I know I say that kind of weird because there's a lot of stuff going on. But the people that are in your market that are trying to buy stuff, like there's no time limit on them. They're not going to like leave if you don't answer them quickly. Oh, so you have enough time to try to, you can try to like, really craft whatever potion you're looking for as many times as you have resources for, and then, sell it. So if you don't have it, obviously, then you can't sell it to them and you have to fail. But yeah, that's basically that. So, all right, now my speed run of all of the other 4 games that I played.
Before that, I would like to say that Steam's video player sucks because I would mute it, and then when I hit play, it would unmute it for me automatically. And I'm like,
no, Steam's video player is dog
trash.
Don't you talk about Gabe like that. All right,
Gabe can eat it.
So the next thing that I've been playing, I think Phoenix has been playing this too. Probably maybe even Bruno has probably played this. Marvel Snap. If you're not interested, or if you're not familiar with Marvel Snap, it is a different take of card games. So I know usually Brian's like, I hate card games. Or not. I'm not good at them.
Well,
this isn't really that.
First of all, you are good at them, Brian. We'll get past that.
Well, like I said, he's not isn't enjoying them.
No, I enjoy card games. I love the idea.
No, Brian, I'm telling you, you don't.
I'm so terrible at the working mentally through the correct strategy, especially with the randomization of cards, that I end up not enjoying certain card games like Magic. Hearthstone. I'm like, man, I love the idea of Hearthstone. It looks great. And then I'm so terrible at playing it that I just don't have fun.
Yeah, I can.
Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap's a little different because like I got into this too, and I was like, let me just try it out because there's a lot of these games out there that are doing whatever flavor they want. But this one's not really about having the know-how of playing a card game like that, like having to know like all the ins and outs of mana and all this stuff. I mean, the basic objective of this game is there's 3 tiles in the middle. And when you play cards, each card has a power associated to it, right? And the object of the game is to have more power on your side than the opponent. That's it.
Well,
that's the game.
Per the different nodes, there's 3 nodes, and you have to win at least 2 of those nodes with more power on your side.
So two out of the 3, you have to have more power on your side than the opponent, and you win. You can have all 3, that's fine. But if you have less than 2, then the other person wins. So that's the base game. Now, I will say there's some depth to this game because each card obviously has different abilities. So like some play immediately when you play the card, some play later when the enemy does something,
and lots of good synergies in between cards.
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of that. And then also the locations have also various attributes that can happen, and they're not released right away. So you see the first location first, you see exactly what that does. And then after that, the location 2 and 3 will open up as time goes on. The other big point to point out about this game, which I think is also really awesome, is outside of the fact that you can play on your mobile phone and then jump on Steam and play as well.
Yes.
Is the fact that there is no pay to win. So there is a store. You can pay for everything you want. All you're doing is making your cards look cooler. It's just skins. It's just skin. Like you literally have a card, then it turns holographic, then it bursts out, and then it turns
frame
3D.
Break.
Wow. Frame break. It busts out of the card. Like it just, and you can actually move your phone. And it'll actually move the card.
3D is the next one. Yeah. So because after frame break, which is literally where the drawing of the person can extend past the borders. That's why they call it frame break. Then it's 3D where it takes that whole thing and it does the parallax 3D. where you move it and the background moves a little bit different. And
so
it just makes
I will say
rarer.
If you're like into maybe some card, like if you like Brian said, like if you're into like what those games look like, oh man, I would love to get into Hearthstone, but I'm just not good at it. I don't want to do that. I would give this one a shot because it's really basic on the sense of like how you win the game. It's literally you have more points, 2 out of 3 points than they do, and that's it. But just like any other game, you can create your own decks. You can change things out. There's obviously challenges. There's weekly challenges, daily challenges, all that stuff.
It's free.
And it's free. Yeah. It's free to play on Steam, free to play on your phone.
And now, I didn't play enough to know if this was much of a problem in this as it is other free to play games, but I didn't notice as many like time gates where they stop you because you run out of energy and now you've got to wait 5 hours before you can play again, because
I have not run into a time gate yet.
Yeah, because all those time gates is you pay money to get out of the time. And again, like you said, this is not pay to play. This is not pay to win. This is pay for cosmetics only, which is really awesome. So if you really like the game, I mean, you can just play the heck out of it. Now,
yeah, I literally have to stop playing. So and it's super quick is the other thing. It's like you can be done in less than probably 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 to 5 minutes, and you've got a game done.
You know it was not super quick. Mike's speed run of talking about this game.
Yeah. But that's okay.
I'm not even done yet.
I know.
So the last part of this is also there are no ads.
Yeah, there's no ads.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Marvel, it's Disney, right? Like they've got plenty of money. They don't need to do that.
Now, mind you, if you go to play it, it's kind of like the first taste is free. They'll break out some cosmetics for you so you can see how your cards look cool. But if you don't care about that, you can just keep playing and playing and playing. The first, I would say 50 to 100 games you play are pretty much against bots. How they teach you to play the game is you play the game against bots, and some of them are very contrived.
Maybe that's why I'm winning so much.
Yeah, some of them are very contrived. Like they specifically are making the bot not do certain things against you at certain times so that you could win a certain way, or they put you in a corner where it makes it really difficult so that you can teach you to run away. So it's very scripted for the first 20, 25 or 30 games. And then after that, you're just playing against bots for practice. But after that, you go into ranked mode. And when you're in ranked mode, you're going against humans.
Wow.
And so your ranked mode.
See, I haven't even gotten to ranked mode.
Yeah,
yet,
you're still playing against bots.
No wonder I've been doing great.
Yes.
Wow.
It's super fun.
But ultimately,
but it means even more fun when she's
super
going
easy.
Humans.
Yeah.
So that's Marvel Snap. Check it out. Like I said, free on pretty much any platform you want to play on.
Yep.
The next 3 will definitely be speedruns for sure.
We'll see about that. Is it going to be quicker than in Kelly's Corner?
No.
Yeah. So Fallout 4 was something I've played before. I'm revisiting it now because the last time I played
Now, Mike, I've heard the word Fallout 4 before, but I've never seen it. What?
So Fallout 4 for me last time was it's all building, right? So once I got to the part where I realized you can build, and then I modded it where I could build my own. I did nothing else. I did nothing else in the game.
Play the game.
I didn't play the game. I literally
you didn't play the campaign.
I literally built this massive city, detailed city of settlement.
That's such a Mike thing.
And then I stopped. So I decided to install it again. I'm like, I'm not going to build it all. I'm just going to focus on the missions.
And I built a bigger
85,
city.
85-15 right now. I've only built 15%. I'm trying. I'm only trying to build what I have to kind of keep pushing it forward. So I'll tell you about progress on that as the next time I'll show you the screenshots of my massive city that I built. So that's progress on that. I mentioned the next one is Skyrim. Skyrim, obviously, we've all played Skyrim. If you played on your toaster at this point. But I did check
you'd have to have a really fucking fancy toaster.
I was going to ask you if you were playing that on your refrigerator or in your car. I literally was going to say
So Skyrim Together is a mod that a community built to be able to integrate like multiple people, not just 2 people, multiple people into playing Skyrim Together. It's literally Skyrim Together. And I will say I've played this now with my wife, who also loves Skyrim. I got her into that a couple years ago, and I was like, hey, let's just try this together. Let's just, see how it works. I don't even know if it's going to work. We'll just try it. It works. I hate to say flawlessly, because obviously there's some little bit of nuances because of the fact they're playing together, that things are different. But ultimately, we had a blast. We played for like over an hour running together, and like it's the full game. Like the way that this works is it takes 2 separate saves and it syncs your quest line together. So I could be like end of the game, you could be pretty much towards the start, and it syncs our quest together. So whoever's hosting the game, so in this example, if like DayDrinker was never like just beginning the game, I would just say you're the host, and all my quests would sync with you. So as you do things, I could help you. I see all the dialogues when you talk to people. I hear them. I see everything.
You're like, I know this guy. Don't worry. Hold on.
Yeah, I can just walk with you and do, adventure with you and just go out on our own blast. So if you've played Skyrim, this is on PC. So if you have a PC and you want to mod the game, get Skyrim Together. It's not very hard. You do need to know port forwarding with most games like multiplayer. If you're going to play with somebody across the network or potentially even in your own house, if you have crazy stuff going on. But ultimately, really freaking cool, man. I was so pumped that like we were both able to jump into Skyrim, and it like legit just works. Like it just works. So
that's awesome.
Anyway, there's that. Sorry. And the last one is, if you're a fan of a game called Geometry Wars, does that ring a bell to anybody on Xbox 360? I've played my fair share of Geometry Wars, like ridiculous. That game was my college game. I played that game pretty much every single time. So this game, I don't know what Brian's trying to tell me. Is he trying to like go to Hawaii or something?
Sweet Jesus, say the name of the game.
He's doing the wave. So this game's called Waves. And Waves was created by someone who actually... I knew. I was just telling you.
I know. It was good.
So Waves is a game based on Geometry Wars. Not based on Geometry. It's heavily influenced by Geometry Wars. The developer just really enjoyed that game. And that game kind of disappeared. They did Geometry Wars and Geometry Wars 2. And then it kind of disappeared. Like, just never went anywhere. So this guy created his own called Waves, and Waves 2, he actually has a second expansion. Very much the same game. So if you're familiar with the first game, you played this one, it's exactly the same. A little bit of different like modes or whatever, but ultimately the same game. The reason I picked this up was because I didn't even know this existed until I saw a Reddit post. The developer actually passed away. I don't remember exactly what happened, but like I guess one of his dying wishes was to release his games for free after he passed away. So after he passed, Waves and Waves 2 both became free on Steam. And I was like, oh, cool. I never even realized that. But like, this is a game that I love. I want to check it out. And kudos to him. This is really just pretty much playing, Geometry Wars, which, like I said, there wasn't really a way to do that now. So hats off to you, man. Rest in peace. But man, it's awesome. Great job.
Well, now that we're all crying.
Sorry to give you that. And now, Kelly, tell us about your games.
Tell us about how much fun you had playing games now. So I have talked about a game called A Little to the Left, and I actually was able to steal my girl's Nintendo Switch and play it on there. I mean, it's kind of mine. I bought it for their birthday. So I have been really enjoying this game. It is, they call it like a cozy organizing game, the couple that created the game. If you liked unpacking, you will enjoy this. It's kind of like unpacking, but in reverse. So you are hit with these puzzles.
So packing.
Yes, basically packing. Yeah, yes. It's packing.
This guy down here does never laugh. Look at him. He's just so serious. Like, Jesus, said a joke and he's just stone faced.
So it's not called packing. It's called what again?
It's called A Little to the Left. And
I died 40 minutes ago, in case you guys are wondering.
He was like, I was supposed to be in bed by now. You promised me an hour podcast. It's if you have OCD, if you love organizing, if you need a way to relax, this is the game for you. I know. Oh my god. So
3 things I never thought would go together. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Absolutely.
So does anybody love like cleaning out a junk drawer? Like everybody's got that drawer in their kitchen that's got fucking rubber bands, paper clips, batteries, scissors, tape, random push pins.
No, but I do love packing a whole bunch of stuff into a car that everybody says won't fit in the car.
Okay.
Well, I don't have that drawer in my kitchen.
So one of my favorite things to do is to get rid of, like, to take that drawer and make everything fucking fit, get rid of shit that shouldn't be there, and it's perfect. And then I'm like, but then when I see somebody open the drawer and that's a whole other game. That's my worst nightmare. This game has a junk drawer.
Booby traps you set, they're going to snap down on their fingers.
Oh, actually, that's a really great idea. You want a pencil? Don't think so. So it's got a drunk. One of the very first first levels, they have a junk drawer. So
a junk
drawer.
That's my kind of drawer.
Sorry, that was hard. That was So some of the first levels are you've got 4 pencils, right? And you need to organize them, and you organize them from like smallest to biggest in height. And then same thing with books. And then you get a stack of books.
I remember the trailers for this now.
Okay. You get a stack of books, and you're like, okay, well, they are all different sizes. I'm like, but we already did this one, so there's got to be something else. So there's maybe a design on the spine that you have to move the books to create, or somebody has sharpened some fucking pencils and you have to organize them, and then you're like, I organized the pencils. God, why? But I wish I could get rid of that. Oh, I can get rid of that shit. Oh, past the level. It is a fun game. I downloaded this game and my kids were playing something somewhere else. My husband was on the couch hungover, and I was like, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to play this game. And he was like, this music is like really soothing. And it was like, I know it really is, right? It's such soothing music. It is a soothing game. If you need something to take your mind off of a really shitty day, or you just want to calm down, this is a great game until you get to a point where you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? So if you liked unpacking, I think you'd really enjoy this game. It doesn't have the same narrative spin, but has been a lot of fun. Also, if you like cats, or have cats, every once in a while there's like a cat paw that like comes in and it'll mess up all your shit, and you're like, God, it's like real life.
Well, it's based off
swat
the
it
real
away.
Life cat.
Yes, it is.
It's definitely based off the real life cat.
Oh, this puzzle. Oh yeah. Okay. This one was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you keep saying unpacking, but what's this game again?
It's called A Little to the Left. It's fantastic. One thing I will say is so I've been telling people about this and said, it's got to be on iPhone. I bought it. It's definitely on Steam. It's on Nintendo Switch.
On Steam.
Yeah. It is also on Apple, the Apple Store, the App Store, not the Apple Store, but it looks like it's free to play there, and it's gotten some really shitty reviews. I have not downloaded it on the App Store, but the reviews I did see on the App Store is that there are too many ads. If there's an option on the App Store to just buy the game so you don't see the ads, that's your best bet. It's definitely the way to go. It is a very good point and touch game for a phone or an iPad. If that is an option, like I said, I've already bought the game, so I'm not buying it twice. I'm not going to download it again. Definitely do that.
Yeah, it's currently 10% off on Fanatical, so like $13 if you wanted to get it.
Great
cheaper,
game.
But I mean, 15 is not terrible.
Yeah. That's
also don't say game name anymore.
Yes. Also, Choo Choo Charles came out on December 9th, and I still haven't downloaded it yet. I found out this morning. I was like, what?
Disappointing things about that.
Really? It's still got very positive reviews on Steam.
I guess Kelly, you have to play it and tell us about it next time.
I guess I will.
I actually played Choo Choo Charles.
What? Dude,
I just forgot that I played Choo Choo Charles until you just mentioned it.
This week? And you didn't say anything?
Dude, I've been in a haze for the last 8 days.
Continue. Start off with that one. I know it's not on the list.
Yeah, Choo Choo Charles. What is it? $20?
Yes.
Very self-aware that it's garbage in a big way, but I mean the game's just not. It's not like developed in like a crazy way. The mechanic is very base. You have train, you drive train, you upgrade train, and you fight Choo Choo Charles.
And you do silly quests for the silly NPCs.
Yeah, like, and the quests are.
I'm not using that term lightly. That's literally what's going on. They're very strange, silly quests for.
Like you walk into one guy's camp and he's like, "Man, I got a flamethrower in my shack that's on fire."
Left where Kelly put me.
Wish the fire could be put out, and then you just climb up the hill and you open the water valve and pour water all over his shed, and then he's like, "Oh, here's a flamethrower, shoot dang!" And you're like,
it's almost like the developer had this really cool concept, and it's a cool concept, but then couldn't world build or story build around that cool concept.
Oh, I don't think it's that at all. I think the game was supposed to be a meme the whole time. That's what makes it hilarious.
Okay. Well, if that's what I'm going for, then maybe I'm okay still.
I'll say Charles is aggro as fuck. When my man shows up, he does not show up to play. You light that guy on fire and unload a Gatling gun times 7 worth of ammo into his face, and he's like, listen, I ain't stopping. He's legitimately he's like, I didn't hear no bell. It's like corrupt Thomas the Train Engine coming to murder you in your sleep. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting game. From what I've played so far, it's been entertaining.
It's actually like The Ring. Like you're gonna.
But it's definitely a meme.
Like, him showing up at your house in real life.
So for $20,
but it's a self-aware meme.
I love a self-aware meme. I think that's amazing. I don't know. I want to spend $20 on the self-aware meme.
We can family share.
You know. It's the same.
We can family share and you can play it.
I was going to say, yeah, you could.
Then we're going to have to maybe do that.
The worst case scenario, you could watch him play it and probably get the same satisfaction of it.
Speaking of,
I'll leave it there. Sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of games that weren't really flushed out, this one second.
Flushed out. That's a interesting.
It's actually fleshed out, but whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah,
fleshed out. Sorry.
Well, he listen. And sometimes when we're talking about games, flushed out might be correct.
That's true.
Fleshed out is what I was looking for. Thank you.
It's just Canadian accent.
No,
yeah. Right.
Warhammer 40K Darktide.
See, this is mine that unfortunately I think I might get disappointed over.
The return after Vermintide 2, which is the previous Tide game.
Which I heard was pretty good.
Vermintide 2, I played it on release.
Vermintide 2 was pretty good.
It was kind of a shit show on release that had a lot of issues, but they did fix a lot of it. And the game in and of itself was always still pretty sound. Now, Darktide is, again, now become a meme because it lacks content where it should exist. So there's only 4 classes. There's no subclasses. Whereas in Vermintide, there's 15. There's...
Yeah,
This is so annoying. Sorry, I'm sick, so I have like an uncontrollable cough, and I'm on cough suppressants, and even they don't suppress it enough. effectively the game just is missing things. Like, it should never have been released as a full game. First of all, it's not optimized well. So it's kind of a complete mixed bag as to if it's going to run on your computer well or not. Me and two other friends that have been playing it, who all have 30, two of us have 3080s, one of us has a 4080, have all had to tweak our game several different ways just to get it to stop crashing every single mission.
Oh God.
So like, all of us have it limited to 60 frames per second, because if we're allowed to go over, it'll crash on every single mission load. There's supposed to be a crafting system for the guns in the game. It's completely removed. Oh, no. Doesn't exist. It just says coming soon. But the game's released. It's in full release. So how do you have something that's coming soon when your game just released for $40? Like, it's very weird.
That's no.
Well, I had toyed with refunding it and decided to stick with it since a buddy of ours had already gone past his limit. And I mean, I found some fun in it, but right now the game does lack variety in a meaningful way for me to like recommend it to anybody, and it lacks stability. I mean, I've had more issues optimization wise, and this is going to be such a shot at Warhammer Darktide, but I've had more optimization and system stability or game stability issues with Darktide than I have had with Pokemon Scarlet.
What?
And I've only played 4 hours of Darktide, and I've played like 100 hours of Pokemon Scarlet.
Whoa, that's a serious accusation.
Yeah, definitely looks a lot better. And it definitely doesn't run at like 30 sub FPS the whole time, but I mean, Pokemon has never crashed on me.
Yeah.
And I've had some stupid bugs in Darktide that are comparable to the stupid bugs I've had in Pokemon.
Wow.
So I'm very disappointed on that front.
Maybe they'll improve it, and it's free on Game Pass from what I saw.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's no crossplay was the issue, is why I had to buy it on Steam.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, well.
So hopefully, I think it's Fat Shark that develops that game. So hopefully they figure it out like they did with Vermintide do, but they do it a little quicker, because the community is also like very, very salty with them.
Well, I mean, after Vermintide 2 being, like I said, rough launch, but a solid game with like good variety in it for the horde-based rushing at you team of 4 and shooting them down. And if I remember correctly, Vermintide, that's Warhammer, right? And then Darktide is Warhammer 40K, I think. So, and for those that don't know the difference, Warhammer is your orcs and your dwarves and humans and everything else in the fantasy times, the olden times and magic and stuff, where 40K is the sci-fi version of that. Still magic, but it's the year 40,000. So, all of these races have gone out to space and created these mighty empires and stuff like that. So it's a very different feeling going from like the fantasy to sci-fi, but still in the same universe. So that's one of the reasons why I was looking forward to Darktide, but I guess I'll wait to see if they actually put some of the stuff in it that should be in
it. Yeah. And then my last game is I've returned to Final Fantasy 14, so I'm now juggling 2 MMORPGs. Because a friend of mine was like, hey, we need someone to replace some of our extreme raiders. Please help. And I was like, bet. Here we go again.
Demirin, the most extreme.
Once more into the fray.
Yeah. I'm playing a game. I'm going to talk about it next podcast because I want to talk about it a little bit in depth. And maybe even though it's the holiday season, maybe if we can pry at least one other person free, we might actually do kind of a quick look of it too, because I would like this one. Okay, it's Midnight Suns, to let everybody know. Marvel Midnight Suns.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's something that there's some stuff around it. There's some good, there's some bad. I'd like to go a little bit more in depth in it, but I'll talk about it next time.
Okay. I will reserve my comments from watching you play Midnight Suns until then.
Yeah. Well, until then. So that is what got our attention this week. We do appreciate our listeners. Listen out there and our viewers on YouTube. We love all of you. And all of those that never showed up yet. Maybe you will eventually show up and we'll love you too. Check us out, sasgaming.com. You can
we actually love you.
Isn't that great? Don't you love the quips that I come up with? So sasgaming.com. You can also check out patreon.com/sasgaming. Also youtube.com/sasgaming. That's where you can check out all the videos that we do upload. We try to have content every week, potentially, typically. So if it's your first time, check it out. There's a lot of stuff you can go back and watch because there's plenty of that. And also, this is obviously going to be released right before Christmas. So if you're into Christmas, great. If you're just a holiday person and celebrate something else, even more fantastic to you. Either way, we just want to say have a happy holidays. We do, spend your time with your family, spend time with your friends, spend time with those who you consider close to you. Because you just never know. Time is something that we can always say that will run out. So
since the next episode is right before New Year's, I suggest that we make it a pajama cast.
I was gonna, oh my God, get out of my fucking head. Yes, 100%. I was thinking the exact same thing. I almost suggested it tonight. I was like, no. How about right before the New Year? Like, what a great idea. It's like,
all right. Well, I'll be clothed. But anyway, so
will we.
But we listen, our pajamas.
That button, I only pressed that button until we went down to pajamas.
That's true. So, and there's a podcast about that if you want to look at the clips or whatever.
Yes.
Last thing I want to say is
somewhere.
Reminder that we do have a giveaway in our Discord. So if you're not part of our Discord, you should join it. Check out our links below the video to check that out. If not, you can check all our social medias to do all of that. But basically, we're giving away a free SAS merch item, which is a t-shirt, which you'll be able to sit down, not physically, but, face to face, FaceTime or whatever, and help us develop a new shirt that you'll get to get free. So check out the Discord for more information on that. And it'd be great. So until next time, you guys have a great time. And if we don't talk again, we miss you on the next podcast. Have a great year and happy holidays. Y'all take care.
Bye.